Welcome back to another exciting episode where I attempt to teach you how to start a bookkeeping business. My name is Zach Pasquarello. I have been running my own bookkeeping business for the past 4 years. The whole point of me making these YouTube videos is so that I can teach you how to start a bookkeeping business. And also, I will admit, I just genuinely love talking about my bookkeeping business, and nobody wants to hear me talk about it except for all of you here on YouTube. So I greatly appreciate all of you joining my YouTube videos. Let me just say, my internet connection has been spotty all day. So if I cut out, I am very sorry, or if the video quality is just way worse than it usually is, I'm really sorry. But with that being said, in this video, I'm going to focus on customer service, how I manage 60 plus bookkeeping clients. Like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years. I did not just wake up yesterday and get 60 clients all at once. I have acquired these clients slowly over the past 4 years. If you're just getting started and you only have a couple clients, or maybe you don't have any clients, don't get discouraged. Hopefully this video will give you some ideas on how you can manage your clients. Even if you have 2 or 3 clients, I'm still going to give you some good tips and tricks. If anybody has any questions throughout the course of this whole live stream, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. After I talk for a few minutes, I will do my best to answer everybody's questions. And I'm going to be live for about an hour. So I'm probably going to talk for 20 minutes and then I'll just do like a live Q&A for the past 40 minutes. And if anybody wants to join us every Monday at 3 p.m., we have a 1-hour exclusive and private meeting. It's me and like 15 other bookkeeping business owners just like yourself. And I share a couple ideas. People ask me questions. Other people are able to share things that are going on in their business. It's like an accountability group and a support group for other bookkeeping business owners. Okay, let's stop wasting time. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about my daily routine for managing 60 plus bookkeeping clients. Like I said, I did not just wake up yesterday and all of a sudden magically get 60 clients. So I have developed my routine slowly over the past 4 years. It started with 2 clients and then it got up to 10 clients and then jumped up to 20 clients. I will say I have experienced exponential growth or explosive growth. My business has pretty much doubled every year for the past 4 years. So like started out with 10 clients, went to 20 clients, went to 40 clients, and now like I'm close to 60 clients, like 66 to be exact. So just to put things into perspective, my clients pay me on average $450. So I have 66 clients paying me $450 per month on average. It comes out to like $29,300, give or take. My math might be off. But that's what I'm making every single month, recurring revenue. So if any of you guys watched my video last week, I was talking about why starting a bookkeeping business is like the greatest business of all time. And most of that revolves around this idea of monthly recurring revenue. If we land a client, we know that they're going to pay us $200 every month moving forward. So it's not just a one and done sale. These people are paying every single month. So if you're thinking about starting a bookkeeping business, if you're on the fence about starting a bookkeeping business, let me encourage you, strongly recommend. This business has changed my life. I'm so passionate about bookkeeping and my bookkeeping business. That's why I make these YouTube videos. Honestly, that's the only reason why I do it. I just love talking about it. Okay, so how I manage 60 plus clients. So I'm going to talk about like specifically day to day, like what I do, and then also big picture, like what I do on like a monthly basis. People ask me all the time, oh, it's tax season, you must be crazy busy. And honestly, I don't do taxes. So my schedule isn't really that much more busy during tax season. The only reason I am busier during tax season is because I'm getting more clients, because more people are freaking out about filing their taxes. So they wait until March or April to do their bookkeeping from 2023. That's the only reason I'm busier during tax season. Otherwise, My daily and monthly tasks are pretty much the same every month consistently throughout the year. So that's another reason why a bookkeeping business, I've never run a tax business, but I know tax accountants are crazy busy from January through April. And then they're busy again in October, whenever people who went on extension, their taxes are due. And that to me is a much more stressful business, but bookkeeping, super consistent throughout the year. Like I'm just as busy in June as I am in April, pretty much. Okay, so on like a 12-month cycle, it's pretty much the same. Like there is no really busy season other than maybe January because we're filing 1099s. If you're not filing 1099s for your bookkeeping clients, it's a pain in the butt. I hate doing it, but from what I've seen, we kind of have to do it because tax preparers don't necessarily like to do it. Business owners certainly are not able to do it on their own. So we kind of have to do it. Maybe you're able to pass that off onto the tax accountant, but for me, I do it for about half of my clients. So January is crazy busy because of 1099s, but other than that, every month, pretty much the same. So on a monthly basis, I am super busy on the first week of every month. So next week is going to be the first week of May. So May 1st, I'm not really doing a whole lot because I'm still waiting for all of the April transactions to come into QuickBooks. So if you guys have ever used QuickBooks before, I'm sure you've noticed QuickBooks tends to lag 24 to 48 hours. Like if you spend money on Friday, it might not show up until Monday or maybe even Tuesday. So with that understanding, I'm not closing the month before on the first of the month. So May 1st is no different, but May 2nd, I'm going to close out everybody's books from April. And then May 3rd, I'll continue working on closing out April. I usually give myself 5 business days. So the first 5 business days of May, I'm going to try to have everybody's books from April finalized and closed out. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean to have like finalized and closed out books? If you've ever heard me say, bookkeeping is a 3-step process. You got to categorize transactions, reconcile accounts, and generate financial reports. So for me, what I do that. Like I categorize everybody's transactions for April, and then I get their bank statements and credit card statements and loan statements and amortization schedules, and I reconcile all of their accounts, bank accounts, credit card accounts, loan accounts, mortgages, reconcile all the accounts, and then generate their financial reports. Or in this example, I just send them their profit and loss. So for me to finish somebody's books for April, that means all the accounts are reconciled and I have emailed them their March profit and loss. And I tried to, their April profit and loss. And I tried to do that in the first 5 business days of May. So this is my customer service. Like delivering those financial reports is like the final product for my bookkeeping. And so this happens every single month. Think about it like the final exam for your college class is like the monthly profit and loss. And so that is my deliverable. So once I've done that, I'm pretty much done for the previous month of bookkeeping. So that is why I'm super busy the first 5 days of every month. However, I don't wait until the end of the month to categorize everybody's transactions. I did that in the beginning and it was a bad idea. I quickly learned that it's not sustainable. So what I would do is I would not categorize any transactions during April. I would wait until May 2nd and then I would log into the QuickBooks for the first time and I would categorize all of their April transactions all at once, which seemed like a good idea at first when I only had 5 clients. It was sustainable. I could do it. I was pretty stressed out, but I could do it. But I quickly realized that not only was it a ton of work for me, it was also really difficult for the clients because I was asking them questions about 4 weeks ago. I was saying, hey, April 3rd, you went to the ATM and pulled out $500. Like, do you remember what you spent that on? And of course, some of them remembered, but most of them were like, April 3rd, are you kidding me? I don't remember what happened April 30th, let alone April 3rd. So I realized something needed to change. So it was about a year into my bookkeeping business when I started doing everybody's books every single week. And so this enabled me to do two things. First, I wasn't super stressed at the end of the month. Second, I was able to ask people questions in real time on a regular basis. So I was doing the same amount of work, but I was doing it more regularly. And I think it gave the perception to the business owners like I was more involved, like I was doing more work, because I was emailing some people every single week instead of at the end of the month. So these people are like, wow, this outsourced bookkeeper is like on top of his game, like checking my stuff every single week. I think that continues to give a really good impression that I am actively managing their QuickBooks. A lot of business owners come to me after having worked with a large CPA firm, and they're frustrated because their CPA never has their bookkeeping updated. They wait until the end of the quarter, or worse, they wait until the end of the year to do all of the bookkeeping. And so bookkeeping and taxes are two completely different things. And payroll. Like payroll has to happen, whatever, weekly, monthly, quarterly. Payroll, completely different. Taxes, completely different. You have to file your taxes. You have to pay estimated quarterly taxes. Then you have to file your taxes March 15th, April 15th, or October 15th. But then bookkeeping is like a daily task, or in this case, a weekly task. Most CPA firms, or even CPA owner-operators who are just a one-person show, these people don't want to do bookkeeping. They make all their money doing taxes. They charge $2,000 to file someone's taxes. They don't want to mess around with bookkeeping. So that's where we come in. Like I tell everybody, it's like a nurse and a doctor relationship. Bookkeeper is to a nurse as CPA tax preparer is to the doctor. Like the nurse takes care of the patient on a regular basis. The nurse checks your vitals and does everything, like all the tasks that nobody wants to do. The doctor just comes in at the end of the checkup and checks you real quick, writes the prescription, you're good to go. Same thing. Bookkeeper, I'm taking care of the client on a daily, weekly basis. The tax accountant is just coming in, filing reports, signing documents, you're good to go. So that's a good analogy. If you ever want to explain to your clients like how you're different from the tax preparer or the CPA, I think that's a good analogy to kind of frame how our work is different. So I truly am taking care of the client on a regular basis. And that's what separates us from the CPA firms. That's why I've had so many people come to me and they're frustrated. Like I tried to call my CPA, no answer. Email them, no response. So for us, it's super important that we have good communication, regular communication. We make ourselves available. Just make the client feel like we're actually doing our job versus the CPA or the tax preparer. And nothing against CPAs or tax preparers. Like they just are too busy for bookkeeping. Understandably so, like they're doing taxes. That's why we come in and we do the bookkeeping. So on a monthly basis, I am really busy the first week of every month. And then after that, I continue to log into everybody's books every single week. So that way I'm not waiting until the end of the month to do everybody's bookkeeping. That would be way too stressful. I would have 66 clients to do a whole month of bookkeeping in 1 week. That's just ridiculous. So what I do is there's 5 days, Monday through Friday, 66 clients, and every client gets a day of the week. So 66 divided by 5, I do about 12 or 13 clients every single day. And the key here is that I focus on those 12 or 13. I try not to jump ahead. So for example, on Monday, and this is the first task that I try to do. So for example, on Monday, and I see you guys asking questions, and I promise once I kind of get done like going over my explanation, I promise I'm going to get to everybody's questions. So just bear with me a couple more minutes. Hopefully this is helpful. Okay, so weekly basis, every single day. So each client gets a day of the week. And by the way, I don't use fancy software. Nothing against software, nothing against CRMs. I'm not saying you shouldn't use them. I'm just saying me personally, I don't use them. I like to keep things simple. Sometimes I feel like software and CRMs can be overly complicated for no reason. I only have 66 clients and it's just me. So if I had a team of bookkeepers, I might need to use some type of software to delegate tasks and to manage my team. But right now it's just me. So I don't need fancy software. I just have a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet and I have everybody, all of my clients on the Excel spreadsheet. And then I allocate a day of the week. So I just use the numbers 1 through 5. So each client either has a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, which means if they have a 2, I'm doing their bookkeeping on Tuesday. If they have a 5, I'm doing their bookkeeping on Friday. And I stick with that schedule. So if you're a Tuesday client, every Tuesday, I'm going to do their bookkeeping. I probably almost off the top of my head could probably tell you, like if you told me one of my clients, I could probably tell you which day of the week I'm doing their bookkeeping. Just because I've been doing it for so long, I basically have my schedule memorized. But in the event that I don't have it memorized, I have my Excel spreadsheet. I keep it open pretty much all day and I just go through the list. And the important thing to remember here is that I don't jump ahead. So for example, especially when I'm closing the month before, today's Tuesday, I'm only going to do the clients assigned to Tuesday. I'm not going to jump ahead to Wednesday. I'm going to focus on my 12 or 13 clients for Tuesday. I'm going to categorize all of their transactions. And keep in mind, I'm only doing a week's worth of transactions. So it really doesn't take that long. Sometimes it's only 5 or 6 transactions. Other times it's 50 to 100 transactions if they're a very large client. But honestly, sometimes it's only 3 to 5 transactions. So that's why I tell you it only takes me 15 minutes per week for some of my clients, because I'm literally logging in on Tuesday, clicking update on the bank feed, categorizing 3 to 5 transactions, and then I'm done. And like the majority of my time spent is actually logging into their account and clicking update. And then the actual act of categorizing their transactions really doesn't take that much time. Now, with all of that being said, it doesn't take too much time because I am a bookkeeping expert and I'm a QuickBooks expert and I've been working with these clients for a long time. So just like if I tried to change the oil in my car right now, it would take me 2 days to research, figure out how to do it, go to the store, get the supplies, try to do it, mess up, do more research, try again, dispose of the oil. You guys get the idea. Like if I tried to do that right now on my own, it would take me 2 days. If I go to the local mechanic, he can do it in 20 minutes. Same concept. So whenever I say it takes me 15 minutes, it's pretty simple. I can do it super fast. It's not that much work. All of that being said is only because I'm a bookkeeping expert and a QuickBooks expert. So anybody else, the business owner, anybody else with less experience trying to do this would not be able to do what I do in 15 minutes. Now, anybody else with the experience that I have and the education that I have could do it. I'm not saying I'm, better than anybody else, but just keep that in mind with the experience that I have. So every single week, I'm logging into their accounts and doing the bookkeeping for only these 12 or 13 people. Now, this is important. This enables me to continue to grow my business every single day because I'm only doing bookkeeping for 12 or 13 clients per day. So on Tuesday, maybe it took me 2 hours to do the bookkeeping for all of my regular weekly clients. So let's say I start working at 8 a.m., do bookkeeping for 2 hours. Now we're at 10 a.m. And then of course, you're gonna have clients email you, call you, text you, ask questions. That happens. So maybe I spend an hour answering people's questions, responding to emails, updating QuickBooks for miscellaneous things. So now we spend 2 hours doing my weekly clients, 1 hour responding to emails. Now it's only 11 a.m. So here is how I truly believe I was able to grow my business. What I do every single day is now I'm able to spend a little bit of time focused on sales and marketing every single day. That's what I'm talking about, consistency. So that's how I'm able to post on social media every day. I'm able to send sales DMs on Facebook. I'm able to send sales emails. I'm able to schedule consultations with prospective clients because I only focus on 12 or 13 clients per day. And then I respond to emails. And then I spend an hour, maybe 30 minutes doing sales and marketing. And then I'll go to lunch, come back. I usually have more emails, which is fine. Respond to maybe 10 emails in the afternoon. And then here I am, 3 p.m. I have 66 clients, but I'm able to be on YouTube for a whole hour while I'm still running my business because I'm only focused on 12 clients per day. I'm not trying to do bookkeeping for 66 clients every single day because that would be impossible. I'm just worried about 12. And then tomorrow, I'm going to look at my 12 Wednesday clients and just do my 12 Wednesday clients. And then literally repeat this cycle every single day, Monday through Friday. For the first 2 hours, I do bookkeeping, spend about an hour doing, random miscellaneous customer service, responding to email stuff, and then do a little bit of sales and marketing, and then go to lunch, and then respond to some more emails, and then do more sales and marketing. And then usually at the end of the day, from 4 to 5, I'll usually get a couple more emails, a couple more bookkeeping tasks, but that's pretty much it. I bounce back and forth between bookkeeping, sales and marketing, and then I bookkeeping, get all my tasks done, sales and marketing. So I'm able to do a little bit every single day of sales and marketing. Now, with that being said, the first week of every month is usually a little different. I do a lot less sales and marketing in the first 5 business days of every month because I am reconciling accounts. So my weekly transaction recording work is pretty consistent. Every single week, it's always pretty much the same amount of work, except I have to reconcile accounts when I close out the month before. So that's why the first week of every month is a little bit busier, just because I'm reconciling accounts. Other than that, everything's honestly pretty consistent on a weekly basis. My work doesn't really fluctuate a whole lot because I've developed a system of allocating each client to a day of the week. I just focus on that day, those clients, get the work done, answer emails, marketing and sales, rinse and repeat every single day. And that's pretty much it. That's how I got to where I am now. Okay, so people also ask me, last thing, and then I promise I'm going to get to the questions. People ask me, at what point are you going to need to hire somebody? Like, how many hours a week are you working right now? And realistically, if you took out marketing and sales, I probably do bookkeeping for 4 hours a week. Like, if I deleted social media and I deleted YouTube and I never recorded another video or made another post, realistically, straight up, probably 4 hours a day dedicated to bookkeeping. So I have 66 clients. I'm working $450 on average per month per client, making close to $30,000 per month. And I'm like legitimately only doing bookkeeping for 20 hours a week. So that's why this business, seriously, if you guys don't feel the same way I do, maybe I'm just crazy, but this is like the greatest business of all time. Okay, so with that being said, I'm still going to do sales and marketing because I can still handle more volume. Like, I want to get to 80 clients. I want to get to 100 clients before I even consider hiring somebody. And then while we're on that subject, real quick, last thing I'm going to say, I promise, and then I'll get to the questions. People ask me all the time, like, at what point am I going to outsource my bookkeeping or hire somebody or get a subcontractor? That's a big decision. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that because right now I'm owner operator. I own the business. I manage the clients. I do all the work. If I transition to hiring people, like, that's a completely different job. And I'm not sure that I want that job, at least not right now. Talk to me in 5 years, maybe I'll feel differently, but I genuinely enjoy doing the QuickBooks, doing the bookkeeping right now. So I'm not super interested in hiring people and managing people because, like I said, that's a totally different job. Bookkeeping versus bookkeeper manager, very different. And I'm pretty content with where I am on my income and my workload. I'm pretty happy right now. So I'm going to get to 80, maybe 100 clients, and then maybe I'll consider hiring somebody, or maybe I'll just have to stop taking on new clients. I don't know. Okay, with all that being said, let's get to the questions. Okay, Bonita Huggins. Hey, Zach, how did you find your CPA to partner with? I found him on Facebook. So I searched just like you would search for new clients. I searched for local CPAs. And I found somebody who is an owner operator. It's very important. You don't want to partner with a CPA firm because they have bookkeepers. You want to find somebody who's a solo entrepreneur and they don't have any help. They're swamped with taxes. So he does all my taxes and he refers me his bookkeeping. So we help each other. But I found him on Facebook. He's a like-minded individual. He's a family man. He's similar to my age. He lives close to me. I think that's important. If you're an older person and you get along better with older people, maybe look for an older CPA. Or if you're a younger person and you get along better with younger people, maybe you look for a younger CPA to partner with. I don't know. I think that's important to find somebody who has similar interests to you. Okay, the bookkeeping handmade. Do you still have the YouTube video up where you showed us how you managed all of your clients using Microsoft Excel? I'm having trouble finding it. I'm not sure. I make a ton of YouTube videos. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. So real quick, I have to say, if any of you have like really specific questions that require like an in-depth response, check out all the links in the description of my video. I have a ton of resources for all of you. I have a Facebook page. I've got an online store. I've got a course. I've got one-on-one consultations. Check out everything. If you guys want a little bit more information than what I give out in my YouTube videos, the links in the description of the video should hopefully help. Okay, for down payments, $20K on property, do you credit cash? From Johnny Voy. Yes, if the money's coming out of the checking account, then yes, that would be a credit to cash. I would debit the fixed asset and credit the cash account. And side note, if anybody wants to get into debits and credits, like that's our bread and butter. So I'd be more than happy to talk about debits and credits. Just the bookkeeping fundamentals are boring. But sales and marketing, that's fun and exciting. Even customer service is kind of fun and exciting, but QuickBooks and bookkeeping fundamentals, like that stuff is super boring. But if you guys are interested in it, I'd be happy to talk debits and credits all day. Tala Islam, how do you work with a CPA? It's pretty easy. I just kind of explained it whenever I talked to Bonita Huggins about finding a CPA to partner with, but just find somebody who's an owner operator, partner up with them. You do the bookkeeping, they do the taxes. It's a pretty symbiotic relationship. All right, then, keep your secrets. Are your clients paying you any additional money to file their 1099s in January? Or are you just throwing that in there for them with their monthly rate? So honestly, this January was my first January where I had like more than 20 monthly clients. So it was never really an issue before. I might look into charging people to do their 1099s. Like I know a lot of CPAs charge $15 to process 1099s. That might not be a bad idea. Currently, I don't charge any extra, but I might look into charging extra in the future. Let's see, Bonita Huggins, since you're categorizing weekly, is that first week really any different other than running reports? Does running reports take that much extra time? I think I answered your question already, but I'll just recap real quick. No, and that's the whole point. My month-end close doesn't really take that much more time other than the fact that I need to track down bank statements and credit card statements and loan statements and reconcile accounts. Other than that, not really a whole lot more work. For vacations, work on vacation, or do you take a week off here and there? So I'm different. I'm unusual. I'm a little bit crazy. I love my job. I love doing bookkeeping and I don't like to travel. Talk to my wife, totally different story. She loves to travel. I'm sure she wishes that I would be more willing to travel. And also, this is all pretty new for me. Like I've been doing it for 4 years, but that's still pretty new in the grand scheme of things. So to answer your question, I've never really taken like a proper vacation. We went to the beach in New Jersey for like 3 days. I took my laptop with me. I went to Starbucks every morning for 2 hours and I just kept up with emails. If you guys are planning a vacation and if you guys are like, if you get to the point where you're pretty busy, just don't go on vacation in the first week of the month. But like July 20th through July 30th, like absolutely. Like that'd be the perfect time to go on vacation. I would recommend just keep up with emails. You don't have to do the bookkeeping. But just remember that whatever work you don't do while you're on vacation, you're just going to have double the work when you get back. So that's why it's kind of like, oh, like, do I really want to not work for a whole week and then come back? Because it's not like you're working a job and you have somebody that you could pass off all your work to. Like if you were just an employee, you go on vacation for a week, it's like, hey, Billy Bob's going to pick up the slack. When you're a business owner, self-employed, Billy Bob's not there to pick up the slack. So just keep that in mind. If you do travel, you certainly can take your laptop with you, spend a couple hours in the morning, in the evening. You could keep up with your work on a somewhat basis. But me specifically, don't do what I do. Like I'm crazy, I'm weird, and I just don't like taking vacation. I love working. But talk to me in 5 years, I'm sure I'll feel differently. Let's see. Do you have any hourly helpers? No, it's all me. No subcontractors, nothing. It's all me for now. Like I said, we'll see. Talk to me when I hit 100 clients. Maybe I'll outsource. Since 1099s cost money, do you just message your client and let them know they'll be charged by QuickBooks according with how many 1099s they need to send out? Yes. So I send an email to all of my clients either December 31st or January 1st. Like, hey, let me know if you want me to help you with 1099s this year. I can file them for you. I can electronically file them through QuickBooks. QuickBooks charges a small fee. All of that money goes straight to QuickBooks. It's like $3 per 1099. Honestly, most clients don't even realize it's happening. Most people don't check their bank account or their credit card account. That's why they hire a bookkeeper. But yes, I do let them know QuickBooks does charge a small fee to electronically file their 1099s. Let's see. Jaded by Daniel. Do you generate a weekly report to send to the client as well, or just the monthly report? So no, I don't, except for a few clients. And this has actually been a pretty good practice of mine. I usually just send a monthly profit and loss. However, there are some clients who ask me a lot of questions, like, why did you categorize this that way? Or when did you do this? Or when did you do that? Or who is this? And what is that? So if you have clients like that, what I would recommend, after you've done your weekly categorization, you can run the general ledger and send them the general ledger and say, hey, Steven, I just categorized all of your transactions for the past 7 days. See attached. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like me to make any changes. I'd be happy to hop on a call. That way, in 4 months, when they reach out to you and they say, hey, what is this? Why'd you categorize that this way? You can be like, well, Steven, I'd be happy to talk about it. Just letting you know, I sent you an email about that 4 months ago. Already letting you know I did that. Obviously be more polite and more professional than that. But this is just to kind of cover your own basis so that whenever they ask questions, you can be like, hey, yeah, like for sure. I let you know about that, that way some of the responsibility gets put on them and it's not all on you. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Bonita Huggins, do you collect receipts for your clients? Yes, if they want me to. It's not a requirement. I let people know. I recommend that you keep your receipts, but it's not a requirement that you put your receipts into QuickBooks. If you want me to, I can. You can upload them into QuickBooks in the receipts, or you can upload them to a Google Drive or a Dropbox, and I can add them to your QuickBooks. Depending on the volume, I would charge a little bit extra. You want to be careful not to necessarily nickel and dime all of your clients, but at the same time, if they have 200 receipts per month and you're expected to upload that, like that is a lot more work. So depending on the volume, I would charge more for that, but I try to avoid doing that. Like I only do that if clients explicitly ask me to do that for them. Johnny Void, do you send a detailed P&L balance sheet or the non-detail? Also, do you send them for the month or year to date or quarter to date? So I don't do the P&L detail. I actually do the profit and loss by month. I love this report. This is actually the only report that I send. Profit and loss by month. For example, when I closed out March, I did profit and loss by March, year to last month. So the report looks like January, February, March, all broken out month by month. And then April close, I'll do the same thing, January through April, all the way until December. It becomes a very large report. It's got to go landscape, sideways view. January through December. I love this report. That way customers and clients can see how their business is growing or changing month by month. I think it's really helpful to look at the profit and loss by month. And so that's the only report that I send every single month. Can you not reconcile as when you receive the bank statements? Can you not reconcile as and when you receive the bank statements? So Sylvester, I'm not sure what that question means. I'm sorry. If maybe you could rephrase that question differently, maybe I'll try to answer it. I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry. Bonita Huggins, what reasonable salary do you pay yourself versus paying out profits for your S Corp? That's a great question. Full transparency, I probably don't do the right thing. Just putting that out there. It is what it is. I pay myself, I think $5,000 per month, and I make like $40,000 per month. So what I recommend, what I would tell anybody who asked me this question, I would say 50% of your net income. 40 to 60%. 40% if you want to be aggressive, 60% if you want to be more conservative, but 50% of your net income is a good salary for an S Corp owner operator. Now keep in mind, it all depends on a reasonable salary for a person doing your job. It also depends on the size of your business, the complexity of your business. Like if you are truly a business owner and you have a CFO and a CMO and a CTO and a CEO and you're just the founder and you have like C-suite executives and you have senior managers and you have employees, then like your salary, and if your business is making millions of dollars per year, you probably won't pay yourself 50% because your involvement in the day-to-day operations is a lot less because like you have a whole staff running your business. So maybe you could get away with paying yourself maybe 10% as a salary. Just keep in mind, like whatever you pay yourself, you need to be prepared to justify that and explain yourself to the IRS. So for me, I don't do it correctly, but there are huge tax advantages to paying yourself a lower salary. So I'm just kind of, as they say, like mess around and find out. I'm just kind of, if I get audited, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of taking a gamble, taking a risk. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying any of you should do that, but I'm paying myself like 15 or 20% of my net income as my salary. Okay. Angie Heisler. Have been a corporate controller for 25 years. I want to transition to remote work bookkeeping. You absolutely can. Let me give you a quick 4-step process for starting your own bookkeeping business. Learn QuickBooks and bookkeeping. You already probably know bookkeeping. Learn QuickBooks online. Step number 2, develop a sales and marketing strategy. I recommend Facebook. All you got to do, create content, find prospective clients, connect with prospective clients, engage with your community, and send DMs to all of your new Facebook friends. Replace Facebook with Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever. After you've developed a sales and marketing strategy, stick with it for 2 to 6 months, and then you'll get 5 to 10 clients. Now that you have 5 to 10 clients, deliver high quality customer service. Do whatever you can to keep those clients, and then they will refer you to their friends and family. And then your business will naturally grow. And then continue doing sales and marketing, continue delivering customer service every single day. And then finally, step number 4, work really, really, really hard. So don't ever let anybody tell you that starting a business, especially a bookkeeping business, is easy. It's not. It's really, really hard. So be prepared to work really hard. But as long as you can do all 4 of those things, you're going to be great. Angie, should I start with becoming QuickBooks Pro? Do not want to do taxes. I loved that you said that you don't do taxes. Yes, I think everybody should become a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor only because it gives you some street credibility. If you are already a corporate controller for 25 years, you probably don't have to. But if you're anything like me, when I got started, I had 0 experience. I had no work experience related to bookkeeping or accounting. I had no college degree related to bookkeeping or accounting. I had no credentials, no certifications. I had nothing. The only thing that I had or was trying to get was to become a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. And it did help me. My first 5 consultations, I was able to say I was able to answer the question, do you have any experience? Are you qualified to do this job? I was able to confidently say, yes, I'm a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor. So I am qualified to do this job. However, we all know that just because you are a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't mean you know anything about QuickBooks or bookkeeping or running a bookkeeping business. But like I said, it gives you some street credibility. You could say to potential clients, yes, I have experience. Yes, I have a certification. I am in fact qualified to do your bookkeeping. Okay. Let's see. Ray M. If you were to start over today with the knowledge you have today, how fast do you think you could get to 100K per year? In my first year, I made $70,000. And then my second year, I made like 120,000. So I would probably say if you start right now, I would expect 2025, you would make $100,000 per year. Sylvester, how are you marketing your business? So everything I do, so I've never paid for advertising. Everything I talk about is stuff that I've actually done. There are 100 different ways that you can market your business. If you guys follow Alex Hormozy, let me just break down real quick what he talks about. There's 4 different ways you can tell people about your business. You can do one-on-one or you can do one-to-many. With one-on-one, you can do one-on-one to people that you know. This would be like sending a DM to your Facebook friends or texting your college friends. That's one-to-one people you know. There's also one-to-one people you don't know. This would be like cold calling. You could get a list of business owners in your hometown and call them and say, hey, my name's Zach. I'm a bookkeeper. You ever need help with your QuickBooks? To a total stranger. That's one-on-one to people you don't know. Now, the other side of it is one-to-many people you do know. Same thing with Facebook. That's like creating content on Facebook. You're making a post, and creating social media content is basically the same thing as making a TV commercial or doing a billboard, but instead you can do it for free on your social media. So you can just make a post on Facebook. That's one-to-many people you do know. And then finally, we have one-to-many people you don't know, and that's paid advertisements. You can do Google pay-per-click ads. You can do Facebook ads. You can make the billboard. You can do the TV commercial. You can make a radio commercial. That's one-to-many people you don't know. I've never done that. I've never paid for ads. And I've never really done one-to-one people I don't know. Like, I've always reached out to people I do know, and I have had a ton of success doing that. And the reason that I do that is because offering bookkeeping services has a lot to do with trust and relationships, at least in my experience. People are so much more likely to hire me and to pay a premium for my services if they know who I am. And the best way to get to know total strangers is to find them on social media. Like, gone are the days of going to like in-person meetups and like trying to network that way. Like, sure, you can do it, but with technology and social media and phones and computers nowadays, like, I could literally reach, just look at this YouTube video. Like, I'm reaching hundreds of people by making this YouTube video, and I'm sitting in my house. Like, I'm in my gym clothes, sitting at my house, talking to hundreds of people on YouTube. Like, nowhere could I go to a networking event and give an hour-long presentation on this. But if you leverage social media, you could reach literally hundreds, if not thousands of people every single day. And that's the philosophy that I've been using for the past 4 years, social media marketing. I've just slowly grown my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel. Like, if there's ever been a proof of concept, I would say my YouTube channel is probably a pretty good proof of concept that my social media marketing strategy works, because I just hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I'm not saying that to like brag or anything. I'm just saying that like through personal experience, I've kind of tested, these are tried and true methods of utilizing social media marketing to grow anything. So social media, you just got to create content every single day. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, life-changing content. You just got to put out something, because you got to remind these people who you are. Like, they have to be reminded, because they're total strangers. They don't know who you are. So you got to put out content which enables you to build trust with total strangers, which enables you to establish a relationship. And all of that, the purpose of all of that is so that they eventually pay you for bookkeeping. So are we, so like I said, social media is like the only marketing strategy that I've ever really used. Like I've never, like you can write blogs for your website. You can do SEO. You can do email marketing. You can send out flyers in the mail. You can go to live networking events. You can create content on social media. I've never really done anything. You can do cold calling. I've never really done anything other than social media marketing. Not saying it's the only option. It's just what's worked really well for me. And I love it because everyone's on Facebook. Everyone has a phone. You can access Facebook anywhere, in the middle of the night, the middle of the day, on your lunch break at work, using your phone, anywhere. You can access Facebook. You can create content for free. You can find business owners. You can send them a friend request. Most of them will accept your friend request, and then you can send everybody a DM. It just seems like a no-brainer. Okay, I know that was like a really long explanation, but obviously I'm really passionate about social media marketing. And with all that being said, like I am not a marketing guru or a sales expert. I'm actually pretty bad at sales. That's the beauty of a bookkeeping business. We're not selling solar panels. We're not selling diet pills. We're not trying to scam people. Like our services are legit. They're super legit. Like the IRS requires that business owners have a profit and loss. Whenever they file their taxes, they need a Schedule C, which is just a profit and loss. In order to get that, they need bookkeeping. So our services are legit. Everybody needs them, necessary service. So with that in mind, I don't utilize scammy sales tactics. Like I don't try to trick people into hiring me as a bookkeeper. If anything, I try to do the opposite. I try to be incredibly straightforward, super honest, and straight up. Like, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you ever need help with your QuickBooks. I promise you, as long as you do a good job of delivering high quality customer service, you're going to get clients, you're going to keep clients, and your business is just going to grow naturally. All because of this idea that bookkeeping is a necessary service. Okay, moving on. I have no idea where I am. Let's see. Eliz Angela. Hi, Zach. Do you prefer login into the client QuickBooks or adding the client to your professional account? So I never accept anybody's username and password. Everybody has to invite me as an accountant. And then keep in mind, there's two different ways you can get invited to somebody's QuickBooks. They can either add you as a user or they can invite you as an accountant. I always require that they invite me as an accountant. I recommend you do the same just because switching back and forth between clients becomes a real pain if you get added as a user versus getting added as an accountant. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when you figure it out, I promise you, you're going to thank me later. Require everybody to invite you as an accountant. Let's see. Sorry, someone's been calling me this entire time. It's really distracting. Okay, do you pay anyone's quarterly taxes or do you help people with sales tax? Quarterly taxes? No. So whenever somebody files their taxes, their tax accountant should give them quarterly estimated payment vouchers. And this is telling you when you need to pay, how much you need to pay, and how to pay. So the tax accountant should be giving everybody instructions on how to pay their quarterly taxes. I don't help people with that. It's actually incredibly straightforward. All you do is mail a check to the IRS on the 15th of every quarter, or you can log in to the IRS online website and you can pay your quarterly taxes online. Sales tax, yes, I hate sales tax. Sales tax is kind of like 1099s. It's not a big enough service that like anybody specializes in sales tax or 1099s. It's kind of like that miscellaneous service, kind of that gray area. Is it the CPA's responsibility or the bookkeeper's responsibility? I try to stay away from sales tax, but if my client owes Pennsylvania sales tax, I can pay it for them. I only do Pennsylvania sales tax. I know how to navigate the Pennsylvania specific website. I know how to pay people's sales tax. It's actually incredibly simple. All you need to know is gross sales, taxable sales, and the local sales tax rate. And then you can file sales tax for these people. I try to stay away from it. It's due on the 20th of every month. I do it for 5 of my 66 clients. I totally recommend that you try to stay away from it. However, it could be a deal breaker. So if you have a client and if you're not willing to file sales tax, that might be a reason why they go to a different bookkeeper. Same thing with 1099s. If you're not willing to file 1099s, that might be a reason that you lose that particular client. Okay, a couple more questions. We got 10 more minutes. I'm going to do my best to get to every question. Let's see. Ray, what does your Monday Zoom call meetings look like? What do you discuss? It's an accountability group. It's a support group. So it's not necessarily me giving like an hour-long lecture, like in this example. I try to give other people an opportunity to share. It's an accountability group. So the idea is it's $49 a month for an hour meeting every week. You can show up when you want to show up. It's really not that much money, but the idea is that you're invested in your own bookkeeping business. You have other people with a common goal, and you all share like, hey, last week I had my first sales call, or this week I plan on creating my first Facebook post. It's just a mini support group, mini accountability group. And then if you do have questions, we do like a live Q&A for the second half of the meeting. So it's similar to this, but everybody's on screen. There's fewer people. You can ask more questions if you want, but it's not supposed to be like an hour-long college lecture by me. It's supposed to be like everybody's supporting each other, everybody's sharing. And also it's cool because like maybe my perspective might be different from somebody else's experience. So if somebody asks a question, and then like maybe Steven is in the group and maybe Steven wants to answer the question, and that's totally fine because Steven has a different experience than me. Like maybe somebody asks a question like, how do you set up a Google My Business profile? I haven't done that in 4 years, and I know the process has changed in the past 4 years. So if somebody asks me, my advice is probably going to be different than what Steven might say because Steven just set up his Google My Business profile last week. So he actually might be able to help that person a little bit more than me. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for answering my questions. You're a big help. Johnny Voy, I'm happy to help. Sylvester, do you receive bank statements once per month, or some banks send maybe twice a month? So what I mean is, do you wait till the first week to reconcile? I've never seen a bank send a statement twice per month. It's always once a month. Credit cards, once a month. Banks, once a month. Mortgages and loans have always been once a month. I always wait until the end of the month / beginning of the month to reconcile accounts. So like, for example, for April, like May 2nd, I'll reconcile accounts for April. Like April 29th, you can't reconcile April because the bank statement hasn't come out yet. Usually even May 1st, a lot of banks don't release their bank statement until like May 2nd, which is why I wait until May 2nd to start the close process. Cared for, amen, no CRM software. I appreciate somebody else feels the same way I do. Ryan Smith, what's the best way to ease into bookkeeping, aka find your couple clients? I just quit my financial analyst role and have a degree in accounting, but no experience with QuickBooks, etc. I'll be straight up with you. Like literally the way I got my first client, I remember it was December 17th, 2020. December 17th, 2020. I sent somebody a DM. I said, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you ever need help with your QuickBooks. And they said yes. They were a business owner. I looked them up on Facebook. I searched for owner on Facebook and found this random business owner, sent them a friend request. A week later, I sent them a message. That's really it. Like it's not complicated, but it's not easy. It's actually incredibly simple, but it's incredibly difficult. And let me give you a quick example. Imagine if I told you, like I started in October and it didn't get my first client until December. So it takes 2 months at least. So let me give you a quick example. If I tell you to go walk a mile today, as long as you're physically able to walk, anybody can walk a mile today. Not that hard. But if I told you to walk a mile every day for 6 months, that's incredibly difficult. I guarantee you 99% of you won't be able to do that because being consistent and committing to a long-term goal is incredibly difficult. Same concept. However, If you walk a mile today, your fitness will not improve. You're not going to lose weight. You're not going to get better at walking. But if you walk a mile every day for 6 months, I guarantee you your fitness will improve. You're going to be healthier and better at walking. Same concept. If you create a Facebook post today, or if you send out 10 DMs today or 10 Facebook friend requests today, that's good. It's a good start, but nothing's going to happen. If you do that for 2 months or 6 months, I guarantee you will have clients, or at least be so much closer to getting your first client. So you got to have a long-term mindset, slow and steady, commit to being consistent. Ray M, I know you lend money for real estate. What are your rates? 12% annual plus 2 points origination fee. Totally off question, but I'd be happy to, hey, if anybody wants to hear about private money, real estate lending, I'd love to talk about it. It's pretty cool. We are positioned perfectly to be private money lenders because we should know how to underwrite loans. We see financials, we understand tax returns, and we probably do bookkeeping for real estate investors. That's what I'm going to be doing more and more of. I got a loan closing on Friday for $68,000. I'm going to make a quick $1,300 on Friday, 2% origination fee, and then I'll make $680 every month after that. Noah, what was your lifestyle when you first started, and how did it help you grow so quickly? Thank you. Every second of the day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., if I wasn't actively delivering customer service, I was doing sales and marketing. I was even more crazy back then than I am now. Like, I was making QuickBooks tutorials every day on Facebook and on YouTube. I was creating content on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, like multiple times per day. I was interacting with people all day on social media. I would go to Indeed and I would look up businesses looking for bookkeepers. I would call them and be like, hey, XYZ funeral home, I see that you put out a job application, a job posting for like a part-time bookkeeper. I'm a bookkeeper. Have you ever considered outsourcing your bookkeeping instead of hiring a part-time employee? I wrote blogs like every single day. I researched SEO to try to optimize my website. I would do free consultations. Like, if anybody had QuickBooks questions, I would like talk to them for 10 minutes for free. And then I would ask them to give me a Google review. I would just spend all day, like every day, just trying to do sales and marketing. Like, there's hundreds of different things you could do. I tried cold calling. I went to Google Maps and I just like looked for businesses in my area. I would go to their website, get their email address and email them or call them or both. I just did everything. Like, I worked all day, every day to try to get clients. Did your master's degree actually help you? Bonita Huggins, I never got my master's degree. I took like 13 classes at Penn State online. I took like 6 undergrad classes and 7 master's level classes. I needed 3 more classes to pass. I wanted to become a CPA. This semester is the first semester I did not take a class, and I am so thankful I did not. I don't want to become a CPA. I don't want to do taxes. So I'm not going to pursue my accounting degree. I'm not going to pursue becoming a CPA. However, I will say my accounting classes did help a lot. Like, I know a lot about more complicated accounting concepts by taking those classes. So if any of you have the capability to take online classes, totally recommend take at least like 5 or 6 intro accounting classes. It definitely will help. Let's see. And it could be like, it would be a business write-off. Like, if you're taking accounting classes, for sure, that'd be a business write-off. Rob Cameron, what's up, Rob? Hey, Zach. Zach did my bookkeeping for my trucking company. Great service, Rob. Appreciate seeing you on here, and I appreciate the shout out. That really means a lot to me. 2 more questions. It's me. Hi, Zach. Do you categorize all transactions from all your 60 clients by yourself? Yes. It takes about 4 hours a day, about 20 hours a week to do all 66 clients. MB, Zach, have you been able to tap into AI with QuickBooks or other aspects of your business? No, I don't use QuickBooks, or I don't use artificial intelligence or ChatGPT for my bookkeeping. I do use it for sales and marketing. So I will use it to help me generate ideas for sales and marketing. I'll use it to help me with marketing on Facebook, but I don't actually use artificial intelligence for bookkeeping. I understand that's going to become more and more prevalent every year, but I'm not worried about it. I'm focused on today. I'm focused on this year. I'm not going to stress myself out and worry about artificial intelligence in the future. That's it, guys. That's all I have time for today. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any more questions, join my Facebook group, ask questions in the Facebook group, join me in the next live stream. I will see you all in the next one.